This section, we're going to look at substitution kind of questions. Example 11. Given that 3 to the power x is equals to 25, you're asked to write down the value of the following parts. Okay, so we see that the substitution is this 3 to the power x equals to 25. Okay, so we're going to make each of the parts look like 3 to the power x so that we can use the value of 25. Okay, so let's look at part A. So we have 3 to the power of negative x. So I'm going to rewrite it such that it looks like 3 to the power x. So we have 3 to the power x and raised to the power of negative 1. So that when the powers multiply, it becomes 3 to the power negative x. Okay, so now we have 3 power x already, then we are able to use 25. So we see 25 to the power of negative 1, meaning the value will be 1 over 25. Okay, so recall that in the earlier law of indices, we see that a to the power negative k is equals to 1 over ak. I am applying this law. Part B, we have 3 to the power of x over 2. Again, I am going to rewrite it such that it can appear the same as 3 to the power x. Okay, so we have 3 to the power x raised to the power of half, such that when you multiply x and half together, you get x over 2. Okay, so 3 to the power x, we see that we can use 25 as a substitution to the power of half. And recall that we learned in the earlier laws, so when we have a to the power of 1 over n, means we have square root of a to the power of n. Okay, so for example, let's say I have a to the power half, that means I have square root a. So similarly, a to the power 1/3, I have cube root of a. Okay, so in this case, coming back to part B, 25 to the power half means I'm going to take square root of 25, which is 5. Next, part C, I have 3 to the power 0 plus 3 to the power of 2x minus 3. I am going to break up the second part here. Okay, the first part, 3 to the power 0, is actually 1. And the next part, I'm going to break up into 3 to the power of 2x multiplied by 3 to the power of negative 3. Okay, so when you have the same base multiply, you are going to see that the powers will add. Therefore, you have 3 to the power of 2x minus 3 in the previous line. Okay, so next, so 3 to the power of 2x, I'm going to rewrite it such that we have 3 to the power x raised to the power of 2. And then 3 to the power of negative 3 is actually 1 over 3 to the power of 3, which is 1 over 27. Okay, so this part here is 1 over 3 to the power of 3. Again, I am using this a to the power of negative k. It's 1 over a to the power of k. Okay, so I have 1 plus 25 to the power of 2 times 1 over 27. Okay, so these three, 1 plus 25 square times 1 over 27, you can just press your calculator and it will give you this answer, 24 and 4 over 27. Next, we look at example 12. Given that x y to the power of 3 is equals to negative 1, so this is the substitution that we want to use. You're asked to evaluate this expression, xy bracket y squared minus 3x squared y power 8. Okay, so let me just rewrite the equation here, or rather the expression. Okay, let's expand it first. So xy cubed minus 3 x cubed y 9. Okay, the first term xy power 3, we can already use the substitution, -1. Okay, but I would like to rewrite the second term first, then I will do the substitution together in the next line. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite this second term here. So x cubed y9, I'm also going to rewrite it so that it looks like what is given in the substitution. Okay, so I'm going to write x y cubed n to the power of 3. Okay, so you see that when you expand this part here, you get y cubed and x cubed and y power 9, which is exactly the same as what you have in the previous slide. Okay, so now I'm able to use my substitution already. Okay, so we see -1 minus 3 minus 1 raised to the power of 3. Okay. Okay, you can press the calculator straight away, or you can do this. So just be sure that you get this right. So -1 to the power of 3, you will get still a -1. Okay, so a negative number raised to an odd number power, you will still get a negative answer. Okay, so -1 plus 3, you're going to get 2.